artists. Today we are going to be painting our silhouette evergreen scene on the front of our popsicle sticks. Last week we glued the sticks together, and most of you have a piece of paper towel still. All you have to do is peel that paper towel off, and if you have any leftover little pieces of paper, just pick those off and throw them in the trash can. And if you have a little bit of pieces left over, you're gonna paint right over those, so it'll be just fine. In order to paint, we're going to be working on top of a piece of painting paper. We have a bowl of water to rinse our brush out in. You have one of the napkins, and then I've already gotten this arranged for you. There's paint in the egg carton. When you open it up, you're gonna find 2 paper towels. Just leave those resting in the lid. That's how I keep the paint fresh from drying out. You can see that you have every color of the rainbow plus white and black. We're gonna be working in order of the rainbow, which is also the order of the color wheel. And I put them directly in a row for you to make it easy. We're gonna start with red today, work to orange, then yellow. Second row to green, blue, and purple. If you do have long sleeves on today, make sure you pull those up to your elbows. So working on top of our painting paper, we're gonna dip into the red paint first, and you're gonna paint up 6 sticks. You wanna rinse out your brush in your water cup. Really give it a few swirls to make sure that it gets clean. Now you don't want a wet brush to go back into the paint, into the orange paint. So that's why we have our napkin today. I want you to always make sure that after you wash the brush, that you dry the brush just by wiping it on your napkin. And now we're gonna go ahead and dip right into the orange, but this time we're only going to do 3 of the sticks. After those have been coated, while you still have some orange on your brush, you want to go ahead and drag this down into the very beginning of your red, and that way the orange and the red will blend together. And now that you've accomplished that, rinse your brush and dry your brush. Now you're going to work right along to the next color, which is yellow. And again, you're going to coat only 3 sticks. Any of those little textures that you see, we can cover those up with a tree later, so don't worry about seeing through there. Now that you have finished your 3 yellow, again, while you still have some yellow on your brush, you want to blend that into your orange just a little bit while it's still wet. Now we're gonna start on our middle row. Green is next. And again, we are painting 3 sticks. Now that you have your 3 sticks done, we're gonna blend into the yellow, but this time, I do want you to clean off your brush a little bit. Don't wash it, just wipe it on your paper towel so that you don't have so much green in your brush, because it will overpower the yellow. If you need to kind of hold down your project with a fingernail or hold the bottom of it while you work, that helps as well. And now we're gonna work with the next color, which is blue. Painting 3 sticks. Again, blue is such a dark color that we don't want to go straight to the green. So wipe a little bit of the blue out and then blend into the green. You're going to paint the last 2 sticks with your purple. Purple is such a dark color that we also want to wipe it on our napkin before we blend into our blue. Wash your brush, This time wash it quite a bit because we are going to be using white next. And you can tell that even when I wipe on the side of my bowl, it still has a little bit of red in it. So when you get ready to dry your brush this time, don't pull on the bristles, but just really blot them out with your napkin. That way you have a clean brush to paint your white moon. So that's what it looks like after you use the color wheel, which is also the order of the rainbow, to paint your night sky. I'm gonna switch now to my white paint. When you're working with your white, just start up towards the blue and the purple is where you want your moon to go. Try your very best to use just the tip of your brush. Now that blue is going to be a little bit wet still, and you want it to be. Sometimes the moon has a blue or grayish tint to it, so that wet blue paint will actually help blend in a little bit better for your moon. And you can notice that I move my popsicle sticks around a little bit to make sure that I can get a nice circle. I'm going nice and neat, nice and slow, using only the very tip of my brush. For the next part, we're actually not going to use the bristles of the brush. We're going to use the handle of the brush. We want to create some stars, and so you just dip a little bit into the white paint. We want to keep our stars towards the night sky. So the red, orange, and yellow is where the sun has already set. Now the blue and the purple and a little bit of the green is the night sky where the moon is starting to rise. So we don't want to bring our stars down here in the warm colors. We want to keep our stars up here in the cool colors. And all you're going to do is dip your handle. You can probably get about 4 or 5 stars out of one dip. And it's nice that some are big, some are small, some are medium, because all stars are different sizes depending on how far away they are from the earth. I would say that that's enough stars, and so you can just take your napkin and wipe that off of your brush. Now we're going to move on to our black paint, and this is what we're going to use to paint our evergreen trees. And remember, we're doing a silhouette, so that's why we're using black. You can tell our paint is already starting to dry. The wood has absorbed it. To start your evergreens today, I want you to think about working from the green section down, because remember, this part is the night sky. This would be closer to the earth where the sun has already set. So our trees will be kind of low down in the yellow, orange, and red areas. You want to take your brush. I always like to rest my wrist kind of on the table. That helps. I want to try to use just the tips of my brush and make a line. Now that line's not going to be perfect because trees are not perfectly straight. It's even kind of broken. That's okay. It gives it some nice texture for your tree. So don't try to make your trees too perfect today. Now what we're going to simply do is take the bristles of our brush and make lines. Now as the lines go up, they start to get shorter and shorter. So nice long lines at the bottom. As they work their way up, they're getting shorter and shorter and shorter. We don't want our lines to be perfect either. These are supposed to be the branches of the evergreen. So when you go back through with your second coat, you can fill in some of those areas just a little bit more. And keep in mind that they're supposed to look a little textured. We don't want perfect straight lines. When you get ready to paint your next tree, I want you to think about making it a different size. So this time, instead of starting up by the yellow, I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. Give yourself your center line first. We're going to do one final tree. We kind of have a small one, a medium one. We're going to make a tall one that only goes into the green section. And if you notice, they all end about the same spot though. We're going to fill in this with some silhouette of grass. using only the tip of your brush. If you push all the way down, I'll show you on my painting paper. If you push all the way down, your lines are going to be way too thick. So when you're painting with a brush, you always want to try to use just the very tip of the brush. Again, rest your wrist on your painting paper. You'll get a little bit more control on your brush. So now we have a small, a medium, and a large evergreen, and you don't have to go in the same order that I did. To finish this off, we're going to be adding some grass, and all we're doing is filling in that last little section. When you do this, you kind of want to start the brush up where the trees are and then drag it down to the bottom of the popsicle sticks. After I finished with the black, I want to wash out the brush really good this time because black really likes to stay in the bristles. And give it one more pinch. Looking at my overall project, it does feel like this green section in through here is just a little empty still. So when you're done with your evergreen trees, if you still see some of your night sky that looks too empty to you, you can bring a few more stars right down into that green section. And I would say that that fills in some more of that negative space to make it more complete. When you're finished, make sure you wipe off the end of your handle. That artist is a completed evergreen silhouette painting created on popsicle sticks. Now I'm going to talk to you about cleanup. For cleanup today, you want to throw your napkin in the trash can. With your project and painting paper together, you want to carry this over and put it on your drying rack. I know that you have already washed out your brushes at your tables, but there will be a bowl of water by your sink. I would like you to rest your brush bristle side down in that water just to give it one more little bath to make sure that it's nice and clean. For the paint sets, you just need to cover your paint with the paper towel that you left in the lid. You're going to shut those, leave those at your tables, and I will come collect them. Good job today, artists.